Yeah. So morning, everyone. Lovely to see you guys here. Morning, Hilda and Gail and Mum and Lauren and Prabhash and Cheryl and Jeanette and Jean-Marie and those who are listening later. Welcome. So I'm just using my frankincense just to help me ground and a little bit of my rose. And if you've got any oils, anything, or even if you've got some mint and you just crush some mint. It just things that can help us or have a big smell of your coffee or something that will bring you to our senses. And that's we'll be talking a little bit about that today. But just anything so that you can smell or even just hold that you can just feel like you ground yourself. And today is the 18th of December. It was the full moon on the weekend, the 15th of December, and we were at a beautiful wedding in Worcester area, Colin's half-brother Michael, and his wife Kate, and it was magnificent. It was under the stars on this sort of Worcester farm, like fairy lights and all very, very beautifully done. And let me just pin myself here. Um, yeah, and the moon sort of during the evening, the moon rose over the sort of farmhouse and this beautiful bright moon. So it really was quite extraordinary. And a full moon's always a high energy time, a spotlight time. Um, and many of us have probably felt this energy over the last few days. This full moon was in Gemini, and I think Jupiter's also in Gemini. I don't know. But Jupiter's very bright at the moment as well. If you glance up at the sky, you'll see, oh my gosh, there's a star that is so bright. And if you use that little sky view light app, you'll see that is Jupiter. And according to Michelle McClulan, it's like a blustery full moon. There's lots of fire and a lot of mutable signs. I don't know and understand a lot of it, but there's not a lot of earth and a lot of grounding. And so we actually actively need to ground ourselves. And so we've had like such a busy time and traveling and grounding. And now I'm like today feeling like, oh, like I actually need to ground myself properly because it's wonderful to be able to, as I was saying to Hilda before, that we down here in St. Francis for 5 or 6 weeks, which is wonderful. But one has to keep sort of doing some work and things. And Colin's still been working. He's actually gone to back to Joburg this morning for 3 days. Um, and so the tendency is to sort of carry on. I've had some appointments and follow-ups and teaching a bit and things and yeah, lots of admin stuff and things. And I suddenly get to this point today and think, okay, like when does the actual holiday start? And of course, there's been happy times and lovely stuff, but I'm still, as Hilda and I were saying at the beginning, I've got so many tabs open. There's still so much in my mind and still so many, and like still writing a list for the day, which includes putting up our Christmas tree because we bought one of those natural Christmas trees. And I was like, oh my gosh, Christmas will be here and I won't have got us to put up the tree. And so it's just, I suppose, having this moment of a spotlight full moon, and then in 2 or 3 days' time is the summer solstice, which is the 21st of December. These are huge times that we're choosing how to set the tone for what's to come. And I mean, the summer solstice has been celebrated for us as the summer solstice, for the Northern Hemisphere, it's the winter solstice, has been celebrated for centuries because people have always known that these are special times. These are times when the veil is thinner, when yeah, to honor nature and our connection to nature. And so with this mindful moment, perhaps we all want to set our intentions for this next moon cycle, but also for this next 3 months, the solstice time, um, and to look at how we can actively ground ourselves in this time. And I'm sure many of you, and you're welcome to put in the chat some ideas or things you've been doing, but things like being barefoot on the ground and swimming in the sea, those are very grounding. Just walking and journaling. Journaling, it's a great time right now for us to journal. And just get it all out of our heads so that those tabs, we can close some of those tabs and decide um, what we want to keep open and focus on for this time, this special family time, because I don't want to get to the end in 2 or 3 weeks' time and think I didn't even have time with our kids individually, or I didn't even have a chance to do, like, you just rush to the next thing, and we're at a place which is it's very peaceful where we are, but it's a busy town and there are lots of people, and one can just go on to the next thing and seeing the next person and things, which is always lovely and fun. And I'm extroverted, so I enjoy seeing people, but then sometimes I just want to pay attention to those closest to me. So it's a really important time. Also, breath work and breathing, that little Wim Hof, I can share it with you on our Mindful Moments group. There's a 10-minute Wim Hof breathing exercise, and Colin and I have done it very like regularly at home, but now when you're away, you're out of rhythm and routine, and so we haven't done it so much. And for me, it's so helpful for helping me sort of blow off steam, or just to kind of ground myself, and my quiet times and things like that. But the most powerful way is just tapping into our senses and having these snapshot moments. And it's something I actually chatted to Kate, the bride, this weekend, our new sister-in-law, the newest Mrs. Aylward, um, because she was saying, "Oh, it's going so quickly, and there's so much, and so many people and things." And something that I've been taught in my mindfulness training is if we can just create these snapshot moments where you just actually pause. So for her on her wedding day, just her and her husband, just to pause and just to look and just to take in the smell. If we can anchor through our senses, so take in the smell, listen to the sounds, feel the earth or feel whatever in our hand, and just really tap into all those senses for one moment in that moment, it can help to like form a snapshot in your brain so that it's much makes it much more conscious, because when we only rely on our sense of sight, which most of us do, things are fleeting and they pass, and then we don't remember them and we feel we can't hold on to them. Um, but if we can tap into our other senses at the same time, like just when we're having a meal, just have that snapshot moment, and maybe encouraging everyone to have a snapshot moment. Our kids like hate it when I say, "Oh, let's have a mindful moment," because I'm like, "Let's pause, let's look and listen and taste and smell um and feel," and they're like, "Oh," everyone rolls their eyes and things. But I do think that it's just important somehow for us to remind ourselves to anchor, and to just be very present for this moment. Um, and so it leads so beautifully onto this incredible John O'Donoghue poem. And so I invite you just to, in this moment, take a deep breath in, maybe smell at the same time, and then sort of sigh out. And just let these words land as you listen. May you realize that your body is a faithful and beautiful friend of your soul. And may you be peaceful and joyful and recognize that your senses are sacred thresholds. May you realize that holiness is mindful, gazing, feeling, hearing, and touching. May your senses gather you and bring you home. May your senses always enable you to celebrate the universe and the mystery and the possibilities in your presence here. May the love of the earth bless you. May you realize that your body is a faithful and beautiful friend of your soul. And may you be peaceful and joyful and recognize that your senses are sacred thresholds. May you realize that holiness is mindful, gazing, feeling, hearing, and touching. May your senses gather you and bring you home. May your senses always enable you to celebrate the universe and the mystery and the possibilities in your presence here. May the love of the earth bless you. With these words, just inviting a settling into our bodies, inviting a feeling of just, it's enough just to be here right now. Just following your body and your senses in your own time, anchoring to whatever sense calls to you. Just anchoring on your sense of smell or your hearing or your touch or your taste. And just being with that sense for this moment. Letting go of thoughts and imaginings that come in with that sense, but just letting go of those and just moving back to the sense. Fully immersing yourself like you might immerse yourself in a bath. Allowing it to engulf you like you may wrap yourself in a blanket. If the mind starts to get bored or wander, just bring it back and looking for a new level of attention to that sense. Noticing something deeper. Suddenly aware of how much we filter unconsciously in our daily lives to make life more manageable, but just consciously inviting now a connection to our senses. A gratitude for that, the sense that we tapped into right now. And then perhaps inviting a new sense, moving on to another one. Smell, touch, taste, hearing, and just resting in that sense for this time. Gently wrapping yourself in this sense for this time. And your thoughts start to wander, just bringing them back to the sense. May your senses gather you and bring you home. Coming back to yourself through your senses. And perhaps moving on to another sense, one that you haven't visited yet. And just settling here for a time. May you realize that holiness is mindful, gazing, feeling, hearing, and touching. And then inviting or following your senses, allowing yourself to drop deeper into your body, into your heart space, your lungs, your belly, and just resting here with a sense of gratitude for your senses. And just tapping into the actual feeling, the felt sensation of gratitude in your heart space. For the ability to tap into these different senses in one moment. Really feeling into this feeling of gratitude. Does it have a light or a color, a sensation, a texture, a weight? Just noticing your breathing as you do so, and just breathing in slowly and exhaling slowly. With each breath reverberating with the felt sensation of gratitude. tapping into our heart coherence, building our coherence in our body and in our heart space. And just inviting an expansion of this feeling of gratitude so that it starts to spread throughout our entire bodies, into every sense, into our sense of touch in our fingertips and toes, to every hair on our body, spreading up into our ears and behind our eyes, to our nose and mouth. So we can tap into a sensation of our body reverberating and alive and alight with gratitude for our senses and for this moment. May you realize that your body is a faithful and beautiful friend of your soul. And may you be peaceful and joyful and recognize that your senses are sacred thresholds. May you realize that holiness is mindful gazing, feeling, hearing, and touching. May your senses gather you and bring you home. May your senses always enable you to celebrate the universe and the mystery and the possibilities in your presence here. May your senses always enable you to celebrate the universe and the mystery and the possibilities in your presence here. May the love of the earth bless you. I invite all of us as we go on from our mindful moment and go back out into our lives, that we carry this connection with our senses, with our heart coherence, knowing that they are available to us at any moment for us to tap into, to be fully present in our lives as they are at this moment, with our loved ones, our family, our friends, in the beautiful and different spaces we may find ourselves. And even in the mundaneness of our homes, noticing the beauty that is around us, the colors of the sky, the beauty of the stars, the brightness of Jupiter. The changing colors through the day and the night. Inviting ourselves in this moment to take ourselves fully into each moment, to really listen to our loved ones, to really see to really be present for a hug, for a connection. To bring our whole selves into a moment. When you're ready, just moving in your body, keeping your attention on your senses, maybe rubbing your thighs or squeezing your arms and shoulders, moving into fingers and toes. When you're ready, opening your eyes and taking in the world around you, the beauty and the light, the colors and the textures, the depth. Taking in names and faces on the screen with us. Thank you for being here with me this morning. It's always wonderful to have you all here. I wish you a blessed time with family and friends and a blessed solstice. I actually did a solstice mindful moment a year or two ago. I might find it and post it for us. I don't think I'm going to do it this time because we have a whole lot of family arriving on that day, but invite us to encourage us to find these times to celebrate the extraordinary moments in the ordinary. And yeah, if you know of any mothers and daughters who might want to join us on our mother and daughter retreat in January, I've put up a little video on my Instagram page which tells you about it. And there's also information on my website. It's for daughters over 18. It'll be such a special time for us all. And so if you know anyone, please share it. And it doesn't have to just be mothers and daughters. It can be goddaughters and nieces, and can be even soul sisters, like friends together. And it really is a special time at the beginning of the year. Often we think we can't take time out then, but it is a special time to help us set the tone for the year. And the world does keep moving without us. And so often it's in our own minds that think that we can't do these things. So please, I encourage you to share it with others. And yeah, thanks for joining today. I'm not sure when the next mindful moment will be, but there's always all the recordings on my YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded them recently to my website. And I will send out a message. We'll do something again, I'm sure, in early January. I wish you a very blessed time with family and friends. And please feel free to unmute or type anything.
Thanks, Nikki. I attended a reflection and integration workshop on Monday on 2024. And it's so interesting because the reflection exercise was to write down moments that stand out in the year, because we tend to bundle everything together and think, oh, 2024 was such a busy, rushed, awful, whatever label you want to give it, year. But we forget those moments when we sort of lump it all together. And it was quite an interesting exercise, just for 10 or 20 minutes in silence, to write down the moments that stand out in the year of 2024. And it's quite interesting once you start tuning into those moments. And it is moments that stand out using the senses, because that's how we, as you said, anchor things. How much more actually comes and starts to flow. So it was quite an interesting little exercise. And I thought I'd mention it here as you were talking about moments.
I just love that, Hilda. Thank you for sharing that. What a lovely thing to do. And it might even just do that also with our kids as well. That's such a lovely thing to, it's such a lovely way of reflecting. Because as you say, like we just bundle it back and we like look at the bigger picture, but it's the moments that really make our lives. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was that what workshop was that? Wasn't
Uh,
was
it's
behind?
through, so there's a lady that does something called Soul Compass every year that sort of sets the tone for the year. She runs them in January. And for the first time this year, she decided to do a reflection one. So instead of sort of intention going forward, it was pausing and looking back.
Hmm.
And sort of marrying the two. And I think, we're so focused on, the New Year's resolutions and what the new year is going to bring, but we never pause and reflect on the year that has been and, the gifts and the lessons and the things that that year has, or this year, the year has given us. And so it was such a beautiful, it was a 3-hour workshop. She uses a mandala where you can color and reflect, and really just gifting yourself the time to, as you said earlier, have the still point, be still, access the calm in order to reflect on the year that was. And when I listen to your mindful moments, I mean, there's many moments that stand out for me, and things that we have done and that we have been through in the year. And it can be, as we perceive it, good or bad, but at the end of the day, it's just information on what we have been through in a particular year.
Mm.
So it was online, and really just it was a space to honor ourselves and give ourselves time to pause and reflect.
Thank you for sharing that. That sounds amazing.
Mm. Pleasure.
Mm.
Yeah, next, what you were saying about the wedding just actually really resonated with me, because I was told for my wedding day that your day is going to go so fast. You
Mm.
must actually remember every single moment.
Mm.
And so that's exactly what I did. Is the whole way during the day, I kept reflecting on and remembering what was happening on that day. And it's so true. Your life, you don't think about doing that in everyday life. You have this really special occasion, like maybe it's a special time with one of the kids, and I know I'm going to my during the year next year, I'll be going to my son's graduation. And
Mm.
you don't think about just really concentrating and remembering those moments. And it could actually, even if it's like you said, just be a hug. It
Mm.
could be a really special dinner. It's just concentrating on that moment. And that's very, very true.
Mm.
So, thank you. I'm going to definitely remember that for the month that my precious boys
Yeah,
are here.
I know exactly. So that we can feel like we are fully present for them being here, not just a flurry of feeding and cleaning and organizing.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, thank you, Gail. Thanks for that. And thank you for all the lovely comments as well.
Yeah, no, I love being there with her. It's lovely coming to you. Thank you for doing them.
Oh, thank you. No, it's been a joy for me too. So thank you for coming.
And
Yeah.
I'm also taking a break as well. As much as we love them, it's actually yours.
Well, the
Like you said,
where
we
we
just,
are. Yeah.
we just all need to just calm down over this period, because it can get so busy. But it's just
Yeah.
lovely. You need
Yeah.
time with
Absolutely.
your family. So,
Thank you.
Thank
Mum,
you, Nikki. That was,
yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I put a little video of a game ranger who takes, I actually sent it to you, I think, but you've been so busy, you must probably haven't listened to it. He's got a guest that flies out to um, I think it's Londolozi or one of those places, and she's blind, and he takes her on game drives, and how it changes his life because of the sense that she hasn't got the sense of sight, and how he's going to tell her what she's seen, and how in fact she taught him so much. And it's a real,
I actually I've seen that before, but I think it's wonderful if you can repost that, please.
On your for a moment.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Or just give it to you and you can put it on.
No, either.
Okay, good.
You feel.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Thank you, Jeanette, for your lovely message. Also remembering
it will save you, but I know.
At this time linked to my uncle's passing, and it's his birthday tomorrow. So it is quite an emotional time for our family as well, because we'd always get together, my mum's brother, and celebrate his birthday while we were all here together. And so it's going to be a day where we'll feel his physical presence very missing. Anyway, but thank you so much. And yeah, love to you all. Thank you.